Hey, big shout out to Air Fern and Mr. JR Star 3 for the raid, guys. Just give us a moment here and we'll be getting ready to go. We missed you guys. Taking off a week, man. We missed you so much. Hey, big shout out to Copium King, who is going to be joining us today on the podcast. Just give us a minute for him to join up, guys, and we'll be going live.
10, 9, 8.
Let's get ready, everybody. Here we go.
7,
7,
6,
6,
5,
5,
4, 3,
3,
2, 1.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Knights of Teleria podcast. Thank you all for joining us on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, wherever you might be. We love you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to spend it here with us. And I know that the setup looks a little weird today, but we were just trying to figure something out because we changed some things up a little bit lately. But that said, listen, we took last week off. Happy Easter to anybody who celebrated Easter. If you didn't, happy Sunday to you. That said, we're going to talk about a couple of things today. We're going to talk about some in-game activities that are currently going on that I find a little problematic. And then for anybody who watched the last video, we're going to be discussing clan hopping, and we're going to be diving into the matchmaking system because this is a real big problem. But before we get into all of that, let me introduce the panel for today. In the top kind of little red box, we got Mr. FinalKenpachi. Ken, what is going on, brother? How are you?
Doing good, man. I missed you guys. We take a break like 1 week, and it was I already missed it. Like I like to talk to you guys what happened with the raid today. So how about you guys? Hope you guys did.
Doing good, man. I was in DC last week, and let's just say it's not something I ever want to do again. Next up, let's talk to the dab master himself, all the way from Texas, Mr. Zero Brew Zero. What is going on, brother? How are you?
Well, apparently I'm thinking outside the box. Oh wait, I'm back in the box now. That's good. No, it's been quite the week. I don't know if y'all saw or not, but Ash and Big Papa Jock dropped their video, their kind of little podcasting that they got going on, and earlier Ash had asked for like a video or whatnot, so I sent one in. He actually played it and then gave my most viral video some love on the channel and stuff. So that was really humbling and very cool. So shout out to Ash and Big Papa Jock for doing that. So it was a really cool week. But I did miss you guys. So I'm glad we're back at it.
We had a conversation via text a couple of days ago where we're going to actually talk about it a little bit today. I was a little disappointed that you didn't call this event out. I'm not going to lie. I thought I could trust in you while I was away to deal with this, but we're going to have to discuss a little more about it. Next up, first time on the podcast, we've got, now I messed it up earlier, right? So let's make sure I get this done this time. I called him Copium King before. It's actually King Copium. What's going on, Copium? How are you?
Oh, what's up, gents? I'm doing great. Super stoked to be on the podcast for the first time. So let's see what we can get into.
All right. Next up, we've got my favorite late night streamer giving us a end game low spend perspective, Mr. MXPJE. PJ, what is going on, brother? How are you? You're just sitting there smiling. I think he froze.
He froze. That's kind of funny.
While we wait for that, let's go ahead and give ourselves the perspective from Live Arena, which is going to be an interesting season considering we had some issues already. Mr. Gestal Gaming, Gestal, what is going on, brother? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Yeah, I was all excited to talk about the next season of Live Arena, and I didn't think we were going to be talking about it. So hopefully we talk a little bit about it. But great to be here, man. Welcome back. Week off, and hope everyone's doing well.
Sorry, I crashed. I'm back.
We're definitely going to be talking about it. All right, now that he's back joining us, PJ, what's going on, bro? How are you?
Yeah, doing good. Sad we didn't have a podcast last week. I hate when we don't have it like Ken. I always love talking to you guys about the week, so I was sad. It was Easter, so I understand. But doing well. We had some UFC yesterday, watched those fights. And happy to be back talking about Raid with you guys and getting down and dirty.
Awesome. And last but not least, the guy who's sharing a box with me, because, we're getting a little close here, brotherly love.
Besties.
That's right. Mr. JR Star 3J, what's going on, brother? How are you?
What's up? Doing pretty good. Did some pulls, a lot of pulls today during the morning of the stream, and we got lucky on some players' accounts. Especially me, I finally got the 6-star blessing that I wanted, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Nice.
Want to share for
nice.
who?
Yeah.
Timothy the Fool.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice. That's awesome.
All
I bet it a
right.
fool.
So we've got a lot of things to talk about today. And first and foremost, I want to actually jump right into this Community Titan event week. First of all, let me ask you guys, are you going for this event or not? Ken?
No, specific for the 5-star, I'm not. I'm just doing like easy tournament stuff like that, like Dragon tournament, Spider tournament. You know, you can finish them by your daily energies. But shard opening, champion training, if the reward is looking bad, I'm gonna skip them. I'm not interested about this champion or his soul. So
Okay. Chat, what about you guys? Are you going for this event or not? Are you skipping it? Is this something that even interests you at all? Zero. What about you, bro?
Yeah, so I am just going to probably go get the 3-star. I think kind of stems back to the last fusion as well, which thankfully I skipped. But they're starting to, and again, I love that Plarium gives us an opportunity to get the soul for the fusions and things like that, because the souls are really, really good, right? But now they're starting to combine them in where, you know, previously if this community weeks was not happening, we might have another Titan event for the champion and an opportunity to get that soul, right? So now we know that they, you know, did this Titan event for the freebie soul, and you know we are getting 2 champions, I guess, at the same time. But yeah, so no, I'm skipping this. I do think if this dude ever becomes viable in an area of the game, at least getting the 3-star to get the HP and the defense on the 1 and the 3 would be beneficial. But never going to really need crit damage. Doesn't need accuracy at all. Obviously, resistance might be helpful, but it's not worth, as Ken just said, burning through all those resources to summon champions for this dude, especially if he sits in your vault. So the answer is yes, but only 3 stars, and then I'm out.
Okay. King, what about yourself? You're muted, bro. I can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
You talking about Jay?
Who is it? Who are you talking to?
King Copium.
King.
Oh, King Copium. Oh.
I thought you
While we
said
wait
Ken.
for King, let's go to Jay.
For me particularly, I was actually going to skip everything completely. Like I barely even used Summon Rush. I barely did the any other like tournaments, like you know maybe like Ice Golem or anything else that happened. I was just using this as vacation. Same thing with the Lysander Beastbane. I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna do this either. I don't need it. But because of the Deck of Fate and some other things that I've been, I guess, a little bit of swiping for, I'm already almost on milestone 3, and I wasn't even trying. I was like, dang. So I guess I'm gonna get the 3-star like Gestal and just stop there. I didn't want to do it at all. Not that I don't like it. It's just it's too much resources for something that I barely. Even before they gave us the 5, I already knew. I was like, well, with a 5, he'd be kind of still mid. But yeah, I might even get the 4. Yeah, at this rate, just by playing the game. So I guess that'd be weird. But hey, it's something free, right? So I'll take it.
Well, you know, I'm gonna let you guys all give your thoughts on this before I start my rant. But King, are you okay to go? Still can't hear you, brother. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, initially I was like, you know what, man, it's so hard to get 5-star souls. I probably am never going to use this guy. But whatever, I'm going to go for it. And now I'm like, now that it's like all started, I haven't really done anything. So I'm just going to do I just decided I'm going to do the easy ones, and we'll see where it goes. I think I'd be happy with a 3-star.
Okay. PJ, what about you?
This event is bullshit.
I
really don't
I'm
like-
loving PJ today.
Yeah, no, it's every time they've given us a free champ. I'm not sure every time, but recently in the past, they've given us a free champion. They give us the soul for free.
You're
And-
stealing my idea.
Yeah, I mean,
But they're
it's-
giving us the wand though, right? So
Yeah,
that was I
it
guess the
doesn't
only.
matter.
I don't give a
though.
flying
Give or take.
fuck.
Yeah, I
Like
agree
this is
with, listen,
sixth
I agree with
anniversary
TJ.
bonus event. Like,
I feel you, but that's why I didn't bring it up.
yeah, I don't think that should factor in. I understand
I
not getting these other rewards, but at least like the 5-star soul, I think we should get for free. I'm getting the 3-star, and if I can get like the void, whatever, or the immortal, I'd be happy. But I just think I'm just personally getting the 3-star, and yeah, I don't like how they had this community event. We have to earn it, and the recent ones before they've given us for free. So yeah, I'm not too big of a fan of it.
All right. Yeah, I second that, and I'm gonna lay into it a little more harder. But King Copium, are we looking better?
I mean, I'm hoping we are.
Let's go.
You sounding
All
good,
right.
baby.
Yo, absolutely glad to be on the podcast. So first and foremost, to touch on what Zero Bruce said, I think that being mid game, personally myself, I'm not going to use this champion because the only place this champion would have been viable for me would have been Shadowkin, and that didn't happen because there's only one reviver in Shadowkin. That's the place where that champion should have been put. There's no reason we need another Sacred Order reviver, even if it's free. Plarium's just kind of out of touch with what their player base needs, and the A1 being damage instead of heal boost, I'm not touching this champ with a 10-foot pole.
Okay. So back to PJ. I have to agree, man. Look, I look at this guy as a 15-day login. The rewards, where they said that they were going to be crazy freaking good, they are not. They're basically login rewards for one of the previous champions, Aelin, whatever, all of them. And the biggest problem I have is that we really have to go heavy into some of these events for summoning. And I mean, looking at the Titan Path event, right? We're really having to go in pretty heavy to get, and the rewards are borderline. I'll let you guys know if I pull a legendary or a mythical one from a 5% chance. But it's absolutely asinine and crazy to think that this is going to be what they use as a new standard when they give us free champions. Now, okay, you guys might have the argument of saying, listen, they're going to give us the wand. Cool. The wand, everybody's going to get it. It's been beaten to the point, but it's not really, it's not crazy good because it's only one wand, right? I don't like that this is going on. We would really, like, if this Titan Path event was more like not having to do any summonings, anything like that, like you're literally going to get screwed if you miss anything, and you're not going to get that 5-star soul. And to be honest, for this guy, it's only the 5-star soul that's worth it. Nothing else. The 3-star, the 2-star, 1-star, whatever.
Can I
is
say
the only
something?
one. Go ahead.
Actually, for me, the mythical book is worth more than 5-star on the last page. I was like, maybe I can get the mythical book, but there is only like 50-point difference between them. Like
That's true.
So
That's true.
yeah, I mean, like, so basically you have to do the same thing to get the 5-star if you want this mythical book, and it's make this mythical book super useless. On the previous champion training event, we got the mythical book on the champion training was like 12k point, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They put
Yeah.
16k this time. It was 16k for one mythical book and 11k for legendary book. Bro, they need to give us more mythical book, man. Like,
I
There
definitely
was
agree.
also like there was 150 multi battles more than a legendary book in there.
Yep. It's just, I don't like the way that this is heading because, again, this makes me feel like this is what's going to be their new normal for giving us free champions, that we don't have to just do our daily stuff. And again, I give it next week. We're going to be, hey guys, we're announcing a fusion for the week after. Everybody's going to be dried off on resources. And I mean, I didn't pull any shards for this event. I literally, this summon rush event, right? I got up to the 3,500 by just using my mystery shards because I refused to pull any of the other shards. I'm down to 80 mystery shards. Okay. That was a pain. I will say that was a pain. But I do not like the fact that this is where we're headed.
Can I ask you a question? Is the shards out of the deck of fate, is that also inflated by 10%? I feel like they used to give us 1,000 points for a 10 pull of the little ones, and now it's only 900. The golden deck of fate.
I believe they nerfed it. It used to be on the deck of fate. We used to get 90 is what we're getting. So these haven't changed. At least I don't think they have. But
Okay.
no,
I thought they used to be 100 and 1,000 and maybe 5,000.
Right. You're right, because the last nerf they did, they brought it down to 100. You're right. So we did get nerfed on this as well too.
So it's a 10% nerf on pulling your soul stones, meaning
except for the Eternal Soul
10
Stones, because they knew we were going to go ahead and we were going to pull during this 2x.
Yeah.
So Don just confirmed it. It was 10, 1,000, and 5,000. So we did get a nerf on these two.
That was a not
nerfed it
2
2
back,
back.
he said. Yeah, no,
Okay.
that wasn't a recent. Like they've been doing
But
that.
still, yeah, they are, inflating, what we have to do in the game. But Blazin, I'm going to solve all your problems with your beef. Go back to the main screen.
Okay.
Right underneath your player power, see that little purple thing there that's been there for a week and now is going to be there for another week? That's going to make up for all the inflation and all the events right there. And I'm joking. That's a joke.
Yeah. I mean, don't
but
get me
it's
wrong.
cool that they did give us that, so we got to give them credit for that. We're kind of dunking on them right now, but we got to give them credit for that.
Cool if they gave us that. If this is for Hard Faction Wars.
Yeah.
Well, we need that for
That's
Hard Faction
speculation,
Wars.
though. But if it's not for that, then it's cool.
Yeah.
Again,
I think maybe if Hard Faction Wars comes out in May or June or something like that, maybe they give this to us again.
I hope.
But yeah.
I hope they do this every month.
I think the Hard
Well,
Faction
that
Wars
too.
are going to be coming out a little earlier than that. I mean, a lot of people are more in favor of just getting rid of it. He says leak. No.
I also
leaks,
didn't realize
no
there's
leaks.
a Mikage event for a soul up. What's that?
Yeah,
What's that
so
looking like?
that's a champion training for the top person to get a 5-star soul for the Mikage. So, it's
If
going to be
you're lucky.
one out of every 100 or
Forget it's even
250.
there.
Exactly. But that said, no, I'm really not a fan of the event over here with this as the community week. Honestly, I'm doing it. I'm not free to play, guys, but I'm doing it with my daily energy. I'm not spending any extra, other than today, I'm farming some speed gear just to see if I can get anything, but so far no luck. But yeah, I'm not going crazy. I'm not swiping the credit card for any of this. It is what it is. If I have it, I get it. If not, I don't. And I agree with Ken that the mythical book is probably the biggest thing here. This 5-star soul, it's going to kill me to try to get, because we can only skip 350 points, right? So that has to be my
250.
biggest 250, not 350. 250. Okay. That has to be my biggest gripe for this week. And I was really, I text Zero Brew throughout the week because I watched his video saying, I'm glad that they're doing this. And I'm like, bro, no. Why didn't you, I felt like I could count on you to go after them for it. But with that in mind, let's move on to the Live Arena Season 2. Man, oh man, was this a interesting way to start it off. I logged on day one. I said I was going to do a couple of fights. All of a sudden, I see people 5,000 points into it. I was like, wait a minute. How the hell did they do this? They got to do 500-600 fights in an hour? Is there a new speed meta? Come to find out, it was a visual bug. Let's first of all go ahead, Ken, because I know you got something to say
I'm not
about
sure it's
it.
a visual bug. It was a visual bug. It was bug, normal bug, because these people also cannot claim their seasonal reward because their seasonal point didn't reset, which means they already claimed their seasonal reward, so they cannot claim it anymore. So, but I guess they fix it. That's what they said. But again, man, nothing can surprise me anymore. There is every time I read the announcement about the bug, I'm like, oh really? I'm shocked right now. Wow, there is a bug. Wow. I will be actually surprised if there is no bug on these days. So
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, again, they fixed the bug. Happens, But the whole seasonal system is, fail in my opinion. It's just driver season. That's what I'm called it. Driver season, or the unlimited gem spender doesn't sleep 24-hour play the rates Shadow Legend season, whatever you want to call. driver
Well,
season, it's just easier to say so.
I hate to
Bro,
tell
like,
you this,
I
but
want
no one
to see
sleeps.
competition there.
We
I
all
wanna-
play raid 24/7. No one ever sleeps. It's all
I
about
really
raid.
want to see some competition, man. Like between the different player. Like, look at this right now. Like,
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it is. Listen, accounts like this are way ahead of us. And the
no,
fact
I
that
just
they're-
beat the Cartman again.
But-
I beat the Cartman again 2 days ago.
Okay.
Nice. And can
Yeah,
I just
we
say,
did that before.
this screenshot speaks volumes. So you got someone with a 90% win rate, and the second place person compared to the third place person has put up almost 400 more fights, and they're in second place with a worse win rate. That should not be happening just because they can get more battles in.
Right. Well, first of all, let's discuss the, I guess, matchmaking for this part, right? Do you feel like the matchmaking for season 2 was done better than season 1, or are you completely having the same kind of experience as you did with season 1? Chat, I haven't seen any screenshots of people sending me. Usually I get them when there's some big disparity. But let us know, have you guys had any sort of, are you like me that are sitting down at like 189 going up against crypto or something like that? Let's start off with King Copium first.
So I'm in silver. I wasn't around for the first season either, so my opinion is actually pretty low key on this. It's just I think that I'm definitely going against people who have a lot more experience under their belt, and I don't understand why I just enter silver and I'm going up against people that are about to get out of it.
Okay. So you're facing players up in like silver 4 is what you're saying, or?
Well, so yeah, I'm in silver 3 and they're about to get out of silver 3 and they just have a ton of, experience in live arena over me in terms of wins and play rate. So
Okay. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, so this season so far has been, exactly the same as last season. I will say, coming off the back of last season, getting that those mythical rewards are definitely worth it if you can do it. Now, one of the cool things I did figure out, if anybody hasn't seen this video, is you can actually go into your gem shop and you can keep, like, if you have from Sin City or Cursed City, if you have the live arena tokens just kind of sitting there as like freebies with like a 90-day countdown or something like on that, you can just go into your gem shop and just buy it, because when you go to click a re-up on your 5 tokens, it'll pull it from your inbox first as like the default. So you got 2 sitting there. So instead of using those, and if you want to let those sit there for a while, you can actually go to your gem shop and just buy it out of the shop for 10 gems. And it dawned on me, as like, you know what? If you went and did that every single day, now again, Gestal and Kenpachi, don't listen to this because you guys are just grinding and spending 100 gems or whatever. But for 20 days, you can only spend 200 gems essentially and get the same amount as if you went like 1 or 2 days super hard and went all the way to the maximum of how they double the price of the gems. So that's a really cool trick that we figured out. But if you go to the shop for me, do me one favor. Go to the shop really fast.
Okay.
Yep, shop, and then it'll be the gem shop right there in the middle, and then scroll over. Oh, you can buy those little fish thingies. All right, so there's what I'm talking about. Click that. You don't have to buy it, but just click it for me. The gem pack, the live arena. Okay, so up to 6 times. Is that baked in? So I would ask that to Ken and Gestal, who's on the call.
It
Do y'all
goes
get
up every
limited to
single time.
6? Huh?
No, you
then
can,
it stops. Then it just stops at 100, and you can keep buying them at 100. I think.
yeah.
Unlimited.
Oh, the
man.
cost. So it's calling out the specific cost and
Yeah,
is
the
in that
purpose goes
specific
up
thing.
6 times up to 100. Yeah.
Yeah. But anybody that's looking to be extremely low or free to play spender, that's a little hack I figured out. You can just buy your 10 a day, even if you waited to right before the reset, because it lasts in your inbox for 24 hours. Like, even if live arena's closed, you can't use them, you can still, buy that. That's really cool. So,
Okay.
And then I think the other thing is I've been trying to do some experimental stuff, like using Hansel and Gretel to combat the Fabians and the Alices of the world. And it does work half the time, but I just realized, Man, I got to stop spreading my decent gear across 20 champions. I need to really focus. So I just re-geared yesterday Sigfrund and Gizmac and a few other champions just to get them a lot faster. So they're now in the 300 speeds, and for nukers, that's pretty good. Because I'm just like the fights I lose, I'm losing the speed battle, and I don't know. That's where I'm at currently. Feel free to give me feedback.
So back to my original question. Is your matchmaking better than it was last season, or is it still the same or trash?
I feel like
you answered everything else, but not that.
I know I answered everything else. Sorry, you got the ADHD guy on the call. No, yeah. So far I have not fought. Last season I fought the number 1 and the number 3 person, so I've yet to fight them this time. But I feel like the matchmaking is similar. I haven't gone and fought those top people. Okay. But I feel like, yeah, I'll fight like a 10,000 and then I'll fight like a 5,000. But what's funny is the 5,000 people, if they outspeed me, they'll still crush me. So,
okay. As you can see here on my end, I'm sitting, 7,000s. I'm getting my 10 fights a day. And for the most part, it still looks like it was last season, where I'm not fighting players that are close to my arena ranking. It's still forcing more of the seasonal ranking. I would like to see it, anybody below 6,000 should not be touching me. Now I do get that if there's not enough people in there, you got to put them in and fight. But honestly, some of these fights weren't really fair for them, right? That said, Ken, what about you? Are you having any differences with your matchmaking?
To be honest, the only good matchmaking working on this game is the live arena, because it's looking your point and it's trying to find the enemy close to your point, right? In first 30 seconds. If the game doesn't find any matchmaking in 30 seconds, you can even face somebody with 1 million point, for example. There is nobody with 1 million point, but crypto, like you can face the crypto. Let's say you have a 3,000 point, you can face the crypto, which is he's currently 90k, I think. His off-season point. The thing is, like, people cannot do some tricks on the live arena, right? If you want to get the reward, you need to do your fight, and more fight you are going to do, you are going to get tougher opponent, right? This is how the game's supposed to work. Not like CVC, not like Siege, not like the Hydra, and not like the Chimera, because people are doing different stuff on this content, and the game is rewarding them, and they call that matchmaking. So,
okay,
it's the same, by the way. My matchmaking is the same as the last season. It's nothing changed because system is the same. They didn't, yeah.
Okay, PJ, what about you?
Yeah, for me, it seems like it's very similar. I don't know if they've said anything about them changing or not, but it seems like it's the same. I wish they would just factor in the general points and the seasonal points, and not just the seasonal points. I think that's like the issue. I'm not sure how hard or easy that would be, but just being off of the seasonal points can be rough, especially early on, because everyone starts off on like the same playing field. So if you're in gold, you could be, and you did a few wins, and then Crypto did a few wins. You guys are both 40 points, GG. So early on, it's gonna be tough. But yeah, it seems like it's very similar to last season.
Okay, yeah, and I'll agree. Like, I probably didn't do, I think, more than my 1 or 2 fights a day just to get my win for probably the first couple of days, and then once I had time in the afternoons, I started doing my fights, and it does seem like letting the big boys go through first
Exactly
gives you an easier matchup. Gestal.
Yeah, I would say they haven't changed a single thing in the matchmaking. It feels exactly the same as last time. I'm with Kenpachi, though. I actually feel like it's, relatively speaking, pretty good. And this game isn't like Call of Duty or something where you can match, tons of people all the time, any time of the day. It's obviously a very different game. So I think they've done a pretty good job with the matchmaking. After, I'd say 45 seconds, 40 seconds, maybe it is 30 seconds. But after that, it is fair game, and I tend to get a much easier opponent. Whatever. I don't want to be mean, but like, just someone who's lower down the ranks. And yeah, you do feel bad, right? But we went through this last time. Like, man, what do you want to do? Like, give him a free win? Nah, like I'm gonna fight, and then hopefully, hopefully I win.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I don't think they changed anything. I don't know if it's something they should change, and we could go into like other stuff that was kind of brought up, but I don't know if we're gonna go into that in the future, like further here.
Such as.
Well, just like what can we do to prevent, crypto spending? Well, crypto's playing well. Got 90% win rate's pretty insane, right? With the amount of fights that she's done, but like the guy below her at 65%. Like, what's like, I don't know. Is there a way to combat that? Can we just count like the first 20 fights of every day? Does that kill it? Does that make it better? I don't know. Stuff like that, I guess.
I think I like that, and we'll touch up on it in just a second. Let me get Jay's idea over here on how his matchmaking has been.
So last season I was in Gold 3. So now that I'm in Gold 4, it seems about the same. It's a little bit harder because Gold 4 is a little bit more intense. People are spamming more Mariuses, more Mythicals, faster champions. I noticed my win rate went from like 60, 70%. Now I'm at like 55, 60. And I don't use like OP stuff, right? I don't have no Marius. I don't have that many Mythicals. I'm just using champions that I usually use. So it is definitely a challenge. It's definitely a lot more. I am actually more engaged because I'm almost at 400 season points already. So I'm actually going hard this time.
Okay. I did put out
Can I ask?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to ask a quick question. If we think that because of how they changed the scoring before the first season, if more people, what Jay just said, I went from 3 to 4, as more people on the lower end get pushed into Gold 4, does that make it easier for the top players to get those, like Gestal was just saying, those cupcakes that, yeah, I shouldn't be fighting you, but I'm still going to crush you type thing. So you think you're getting more of those now? To kind of, with more people going from 3 to 4, getting pushed into 4?
I definitely think so. I definitely think you're getting a lot more. I mean, I don't have it here, but I want to say one of my last ones, there was a guy that was using like 3 epic champions, and it's not like they were fully empowered. It was just he was forced out of gold. He was forced out of silver. And I mean, I think he was using like a high Katoon against me, and I'm like, okay. That's not gonna work, but I actually, because I know Ken has been a huge voice in content creator chat about how this can be changed so that it's not just the heavy endgame whales that are getting the top, because he is right. It is not a fair competition. Right? Competition should be based on skill. Yes, these guys are obviously, their gear is going to be a lot higher quality than some of our gear. They're going to have the full empowerments and stuff, but it should be limited. And I feel like there's no way. So I know Gestal said, well, you know what? Let's say only their first 20 fights, right, count. Here's the thing. If their first only 20 fights count, then, and which we're going to touch up on this in a little bit here, I feel like they would go in and purposely tank the rest of the day to demote their points if it doesn't affect the rest of their points for their season. So if it's only the first 20 fights, they could go and lose another 20 and then farm out tomorrow with their next 20 fights a simpler or easier opponent. What are your thoughts on it? Where do you envision it, Ken, for this to be kind of a middle ground to see how well it would work? How would you solve the issue, basically? Ken.
Oh, you talking to me? I thought, sorry. I thought you asking the Gestal, man. Sorry. I got paralyzed. So yes, my advice is limit the tokens, the amount of the tokens you can buy, and after that, because you cannot buy the token, you cannot fight, basically. So
But what about the people that enjoy doing live arena? And before you guys start going off, yes, there
All
are
right, don't
people
give them
that
point
love
or
and-
don't let them lose the point.
Can I go next?
It's like
Okay.
make it off season. Yeah.
Okay.
Send them to the off season. Yeah, there we go. After
So-
20,
So
they can
Senator-
still play off season.
Right, but then our matchmaking, as I just said earlier, is based off of how many wins you have. So what happens now if, let's say, my first 20 wins, I win every single fight, but then I purposely tank 50 wins to get easier opponents?
You cannot tank because you are not gonna do any other fight. You cannot buy the tokens.
Okay, but we just said if I like to do live arena, right?
Bro, nobody doing live in 24/7, man. It's not healthy, bro, for the single person. Nobody gonna do that. Trust me. If the crypto playing himself, he's not going to be there. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but what
Right.
what I'm trying to say is, if that's the case, right, he's gonna do his 20 fights, or his driver or whatever is gonna do the first 20 fights. They're gonna win,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
But let's say there are some players out there that do like to play. Like if I had the chance, I would play every live arena season, every live arena window,
and
because I do
already
enjoy
answered
it.
that. I already answered that.
But
Let them
now,
play. Let them be like a beans. You know, they are going to play, but it's not going to affect their point. It's not going to affect their win rate. They are just
Okay.
going to play. It's like, you know, doing the classic. I'm doing classic arena fight right now, right? But there is no platinum reset. It's going to be happen tomorrow. So it doesn't matter am I in the platinum right now, right?
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter I'm in the platinum right now because before the reset. The important thing is during the platinum you need to be on the platinum. I mean during the reset you need to be on the platinum level. So they can still do fight if they want. You know, they can still earn a live arena medal, but don't let them to earn seasonal point. They can still grind their off seasonal point, but basically look to the seasonal part. Like it's like
Okay.
not exist. You know,
so you lock those points for the seasonal points after the fights. Now again,
Yeah,
what
after
happens
grand
if I purposely tank 30 fights after my live arena fights are over so I can try to get weaker opponents? How would you solve that issue?
what you mean?
So I did my 20 fights, right? And I still want to
Okay.
play the next window. But instead of me winning those fights, I purposely lose 30
Doesn't
fights.
Then
affect
you
your
cannot be number one.
chains.
Then you cannot be number one.
But it doesn't affect my seasonal points. If I just care about seasonal points,
Well, can I say something?
go ahead.
So what I think would be nice would be if your first 20 fights were the only fights that counted towards live arena standings, right?
Yeah.
You win those fights, you lose those fights, that's what counts for your rank. Any live arena fights you do after that, whether you lose or win, have no effect on who you're going up against. It is literally just free live arena.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's going to
Um,
affect your normal general live arena, but not the seasonal live arena. Only first 20. For example, I'm just throwing the 20 by the way. It can be like 50, 30, I don't know. Only first 20 fight going to affect your seasonal point. After that, doesn't matter what you're doing. It's not going to affect your seasonal.
Okay. But if I'm not mistaken, your matchmaking is based between your seasonal and it takes into account your
No.
it
No,
General?
it is not. It's just
No.
seasonal.
it's
That's why
just
its seasonal point is
That's
reset.
I'm saying
Yeah.
it should. Earlier I said it should factor in both.
I agree with
Okay,
you.
I thought that it had some sort of, you know,
No. It doesn't.
okay. So if
By,
it does
by the
not,
way,
then-
like these people, like doesn't it like easy open it to win their game? Like they don't need to be tank. You know, they are like extremely correct and like
I
I
agree.
mean-
I agree.
yeah.
Okay, PJ, what about you? What did you want to say?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was on the same page. I was saying, like, because it's going to be first 20, 30 fights, it's going to be based off of your win percentage versus just being able to buy refills over and over and over. And then, like, if you're saying if you tank your first 20, 30 fights, it's going to be really tough to bounce back from that because then you're going to have to win double that to just get even. So I don't think that would necessarily be a good strategy. So yeah, I think just to maybe not 20, maybe make it a little bit more, because I did see someone in the comments say, well, what happens if I wait to the very end and then I need to do a bunch of points at the end? That would kind of hurt that, so you can't really you wouldn't be able to do like a huge gap at the end, but you could do it like slowly. You couldn't do it like a all or nothing, but you could still start late and still get the points in. But maybe 30 a day or something. But yeah, I definitely think that would help with the unlimited battles and the point inflation kind of.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
When it first came out, when they first announced like everything, I was actually a bit shocked that they didn't have some sort of cap on it, because obviously this was what was going to happen, right? Like 700 battles already. That's an outstanding amount of battles. I don't know how you even do that. So I don't know. Yeah, I think 30 is cool. I'm down with that. I do about 30 a day. I think 30 is a good number.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. I don't really know what else you could do, I guess. I don't like an option where you just like couldn't play it. I think that's I don't know. I don't think that's good. But I also think they should have like the like friendlies, friendly PvPs. So, maybe that'd be a way to
Just want to jump
allow
in
it to
there one
happen.
sec. T-Bone, this wouldn't be for the rewards. This would be for like to get number 1. The rewards for the relics would still be the normal like 7 to 8 wins a day. It wouldn't change that.
We're just talking for the overall top end of the fights. To because let's face it, the leaderboards here are going to be the same no matter what. Okay. No one else that is not. I mean, I don't know what they're paying for their drivers, but no one else that is not doing it consistently 24/7 is not going to, or is going to even enter into this, right? Go ahead, Gestal. Sorry.
I was pretty much finished up.
Okay.
Well, can I add one more thing?
Go ahead, Ken.
I just think something that would be nice for Live Arena, honestly, would be in the same way, to touch on Call of Duty, kind of the way Gestal did was, they have their casual matchmaking and then they have their ranked matchmaking. And so it would be nice if Live Arena had the seasonal the way they do it right now, but it would be nice if we had a Live Arena that was always running and did not affect anything. And you could go test the builds, you could go test champions, you could just go in there. And if people were in there, you could matchmake. And it was kind of just, sometimes you're going to get clapped, sometimes you're not. But you can try stuff out.
I agree. I think the friendly fights, as they said, unfortunately, is going to be depending on how Live Arena goes, if they do it or don't. But I would love to see that in, and I think that would be a huge change for people. Zero.
But
Go ahead, Ken.
can I say something really quick? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Zero. So somebody just kind of crybabies on the chat, bro. Like, I'm not gonna be top 1. Like, I'm not talking about myself here. I'm not gonna be even top 100 probably. Like, I only spent $14. Even I start spending $14 a single day, I still cannot do that. I'm worrying about you guys. Like, I want people who spend money like them, maybe not as much as them, but I want to see competition there. Like, because right now, let's say you have 60% win rate, you are in the second place, but for example, there is another guy with the, like 90% win rate. He's not even top 100 because the number 2 guy did, like, for example, like 1,000 fight. Meanwhile, you are like did only 100 fight. Like, doesn't, what kind of logic is that? Like,
I think the win rate should start coming into effect as well too during the matchmaking process.
Matchmaking on this game is so simple, man. It's just looking like one simple thing, and people are abusing that basically. So.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second here. But Zero, what about you?
Yeah, so I think a couple things I heard here, and I know we've talked about this kind of on a different show, but so one thing, I'll just address this. I would love for them to add a separate token in that's like a friendly token, and maybe it pops up a window and you can type in their gamer tag and then challenge someone. And that's a good way for them to quote unquote monetize it, maybe. And again, we could do that kind of stuff, and especially for us at stream and stuff. Like that would be so amazingly awesome for the community to like do a tournament and stuff. I think that would be a lot of fun. So hopefully they'll consider that in the future. And then in terms of like what we're talking about in terms of, yeah, like I just think that volume should not be a metric at all on the shakeout of this. Because in reality, crypto is going to have all of the chalices. If you go back up to the top, they have the red little reward thing. They're just going to stack those, and nobody else is going to be able to have a chance to earn them because they're paying for a driver or whatever. So they're the only one with that little red chalice at the top, crypto, and yeah, nobody else is gonna be able to get it because they'll just out volume someone. Again, the 90% win rate helps. But so what I think they should do, and I don't know, because I think I heard several points. PJ was saying, what if someone needs to catch up? Like, let's not limit the fights. People might love live arena. Maybe you're hindering their ability like that. I just think we need to go back to what we said previously. Is there needs to be an elo type situation, meaning if crypto goes and fights Ken, and Ken's in the top 500 and crypto's at number 1, Ken should get catapulted into the top 200 and crypto should drop down to the top 200, and like wherever they match, like meet them together or something like that. I know that's a wild thing, but I think if you're at the top of the list, you should be penalized if you take a loss. That 10% loss should hurt you more than the 90% wins against cupcakes.
So you're saying people should get penalized a lot more for point-wise
losing a fight that they should crush
on both ends.
Right.
You should
Right.
gain more and or lose more.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point. That's a valid point.
Yeah, so like a Copium comes in, or was it Ken just comes in from 3 to 4, and he fights me, and I'm sitting at 8,000 points, and he's sitting at 3,500 points. He should get not the big bump, but the bump in live arena season. He should get a huge bump. Now, does that make you fight harder people, and then you're going to get crushed? Maybe. So you got to think about the flip side of that coin if you implement something like that.
I don't think that would be a huge problem because, to be honest, like, every time crypto would go up against somebody else that, he would lose to somebody like Ken. If he takes those kind of points, he's got to climb back up. So there's other accounts that are in the game that could go up against these guys, obviously, because, some of them are having the win rates that are, what was it? Let me go back here. I mean, you got this guy who's got a 65% win rate, and you've got
they should not be number 2 based on volume with this type of solution. And I think it solves what y'all were trying to say. Hey, let's put caps on it. We don't have to put a cap on it. Once they get X amount of points or they're in first place, and in reality, I guess they're still earning chest as they keep grinding past the 1,300 or the 1,400 points, right? So you're still getting the gear drops. But in reality, if you don't care about that gear, you would not potentially want to keep fighting because if you're crypto and you're sitting in the number 1 spot, you may just want to do your 5 or 10 fights and just be done a day. Right. Versus, hey, I'm going to throw 300,000, in this case, 708 fights at it, pay a driver to run it 24/7 when the allotments open. That just kind of would go away because that 10% loss they're going to take is going to hurt so bad.
Right. Jay, what about you? What do you got to say?
Well, I already gave you my stance on it. I mean, in terms of like what we should do.
Yes.
I mean, most of the time, if we do give some advice, they're gonna look at it as well. They're probably getting gems from this. Of course, I mean, in terms of people spending to keep doing it. So why would they stop letting them spend money to keep, unless it breaks the game or really, really, really makes like the whole community like 80% go insane. That's when players like, whoa. Sorry, it was a bug or it's something else and we'll adjust it. Otherwise, if it's only hurting a small amount of people, it's like, oh, well, it's really not really hurting the game. Let's just leave it in there. It helps us as a business. So, I mean, I would love to have draft games or friendly battles, but that might come down the line because I might be working on hard faction wars right now instead. But overall, for what it is, let's be honest. My opinion, this could have been a lot worse. We see a lot of things that implement. Look at TTA, right? So this could have been horrible. It could have been like worse than the whole like engine, right? Like going crazy. People trying to going crazy with arena before, right? During plat pushes and stuff like that. You can't really choose who you fight. It's all RNG. If people were finding a way in the system to like, hey, I want to always attack this person, the person leaves, that abusing the system, then I think it would be really bad. But overall, it's okay. I'm not like super fun, but it actually bring me back in. The fact that they're giving us free energy, the 5 out of 5 chest. I went from not doing this content to now doing this every single day. So I think they did an okay job. I just don't like doing it because it is time consuming. And I wish they could also, why can't choose? I only use the same 7 champions because I don't feel like using meta stuff. I wanted to like auto pick at least like, hey, just pick my champs. I'll play the game. But having to click every single time, because they're not going to use my champs. No one's using, like, not many people use Kaj unless you're Biohack. No one's using Timid. Sometimes people use Harima, but not that much. People are using Mythicals and stuff. So, me personally, I think it's all right. I think if they do implement stuff in the game, I hope they just keep doing it slowly like this instead of just like throwing something and just messing it all up, because it's okay for now.
Okay. I don't know. I use Kadra, just not in live arena. I do use it on my 3v3 and my Siege team, so I think you're right, yeah. But I mean, again, it really depends on what players are picking and playing with, right? But you actually, you bring me into my next point. People figuring out how to manipulate the system. And man, so I posted my video yesterday about it, and I will say within minutes, my Discord was blowing up with people. I got DMs from a lot of people saying, no, this isn't right, or hey, this is right, or... But let's talk about the matchmaking and how people are, I'm going to go ahead and say, abusing this. And I really want to know if chat, do you guys consider this cheating, or just because it's implemented into the game this way, it's okay to do? So going into Chimera Clash, right? We've got an opponent here that has no clan members. And the reason for that is because during that window time, they all clan hopped to a different one. So this Chimera Clash is a 4 clan Chimera Clash, not a 5. Now, we all know that clan hopping has been a huge problem from back in the day where, you could just fight clan boss every single day by just switching clans and getting more rewards. We know that CVC in the beginning was kind of the same way with the matchmaking. Hydra was pretty much the same thing. Now we're down to Chimera. And I think this needs to be resolved, right? They said they said that the way that they fixed the CVC one was based on everybody's personal score. It will take into account, so it will not give you a weaker opponent. And I believe that they did the same thing with CVC. I am putting in an inquiry with Plarium to see what information they're going to give back to me as how the matchmaking works. But first question to you guys is going to be, do you see a difference between tanking and what they have done? Is there a difference between, if we on this week decide to tank, and these people, instead of tanking, just switch clans? Do you see a difference into it? Ken?
Oh man, you really starting with me? I'm very full about this subject. So here's the thing. You can call them covert. You can call them abuses in the system. You can call them whatever you want. But I cannot blame players for that.
Okay.
It is not players' fault. There is a system open to abuse, and they are abusing that. There is nothing wrong with that. The game, the developer need to do something to prevent that. Stop doing this. If they are doing nothing, and I guess we cannot judge the player by doing that. It's like you are looking for justice, not from like your government, your like country, but you are asking from every single person to do their own judgment. It's not going to be fair judgment then. Everybody is going to have say something else. So this is not the need. This Chimera is not the new. Like still since the day one, Hydra matchmaking still working the same. Siege matchmaking since the day release it, same. Chimera same, because all of them has the same matchmaking. It's looking your previous performance. Some of them is looking your like last 4 performance, and if you did bad performance on your last 4 game or your last CVC, basically the game is like, oh, you are a bad clan, so we are gonna face you something bad. Like, what kind of logic is that? I mean, we are watching sport. I mean, you guys watching sport. I'm not watching, but like we are watching sport, right? Like they are playing for the championship, you know, like football or basketball, whatever. Like, have you guys ever see like what is the like NBA, like Celtics for it's NBA, right? So Celtics, for example, they want to won the NBA. Okay, they want to be champion. So they are like, oh guys, let's tank the next match. So we are gonna see the easy opponent next game. Like, is something like happening in the real world? Like, what kind of logic is that?
I'm gonna forward that to PJ because I have no idea how sports work. I'm a video game nerd.
I mean, same here, but like,
you know, I think the way that they get to the playoffs is an average between the win-loss rates, and a certain amount of losses automatically gets you kicked out. If I'm not mistaken, something like that. PJ could elaborate for us.
Yeah, usually based on the best record. Yeah, generally, the only time people would really tank is if they're like really bad losing and they're trying to get a better like lottery pick or like a better pick in the draft. They might like try to tank the rest, but it's like really frowned upon. You're not supposed to really do that.
Yeah. You know, so one of the things I will tell you guys, like, we in Hydra, this is pretty much the main focus where we've been pushing, and I'm in charge of it. And I will tell people, hey guys, this week, only go for your personal rewards. Don't do anything else. We're going to tank. That is, unfortunately, that is a strategy that is used no matter what level in Hydra you're playing. Unless you want to be that one person, which, hey, it is what it is. Is it the right thing to do? Honestly, I could sit here and play devil's advocate with this and say, no, it's not. We should be pushing every week and let the game adjust our scores. But there are other people out there that have made valid points about saying, look, by tanking, they're going to get easier opponents to be able to climb back up. It really depends on how the clan wants to go. Should it be allowed, though? Again, it tears me to say no, it should not be allowed, because I know that it's not, you know, for me, I look to improve my score and try to get better and better every week. But for the overall masses, it doesn't work that way, right? But let's go to PJ. Do you see a difference between clan hopping and, you know, tanking? Is it in your eyes, is it the same thing?
I mean, this is like an extreme example. I don't know if I've ever really seen this. I don't know.
I don't want to cut you off, but here's the big thing here, right? By doing what they did here, they basically never tank and always have a win, right? What they might sacrifice losing in or not getting a match in Hydra Clash, but in Chimera, they're going to, when they switch to that other clan, are going to have an easier opponent. Now, some people have said also that Chimera Clash is based off of your Hydra and your CVC points. I've tried to look into some of the information that Plarium's given us. I've opened a ticket to get a little more information on how this works, because I do want to have another discussion about this on possibly how to fix this kind of an issue with the matchmaking. But as I know it right now, it takes your last 4 averages, and that's what it gives you. So on a clan that doesn't do Chimera, they're basically reset to 0, so they're going to have easier opponents. Go ahead, Peter. Sorry.
Yeah, so I mean, either way, I don't think it's good for the game, but it's kind of sadly been in the game forever. I don't think it should be something where the player base is penalized or anything like that. It's kind of a Polarium problem. They need to figure out a way to fix this. I don't really think it's cheating. They're just working how the the system of the game is, anyone could technically do it. And honestly, to have a whole clan do that, I mean, that's a lot of planning and a lot of coordination. You got to be on Discord. That's a lot. That's like not super easy to coordinate. But I think it's bad for the game. I think it's something they need to work on. Tanking is happening in all areas of the game. It's not just in Clash. It's like every PvP aspect of the game, pretty much. So I'm not sure if I don't like to answer your original question. I'm not sure if this is the same. But both ways, I think it's not good for the game. But I think it's a player mission. I don't think it's necessarily a player-based issue.
And I agree that it's a player issue. They need to resolve this. On the extent that this has gone, though, I think it's. I mean, why? Why not just take the loss for 1 or 2 weeks and just reset your score? Right? I guess that's my big question: is why not take the loss and just reset your score? Gestal, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it almost comes down like what I was initially going to say is, and it was kind of already said, but like we're a bunch of gamers, right? We all play video games. We find the best way, the most optimal way to play the game. It's very optimal to be able to win your Chimera bracket every week, if you can guarantee it. So I could see why people, how they figured it out, not how, whatever. Like I could see a bunch of gamers figuring this thing out, right? So all of that being said, it almost comes down to like a moral issue, like should they do it or not? Like obviously I don't think they should do it. It's just, in my book it's kind of lame. Like always do your best, always try to be your best. Like so that's how I look at it from like a moral standpoint. But I kind of applaud people that figure this stuff out too. It's kind of cool. I like that people figure whatever. I like that they figure it out. So
you win some and lose some, right? That's the thing. You win some and lose some. And if you're gonna take a loss, you take a loss. Don't again, to go to this extent, I can't put it on Plarium's fault. It's definitely on the individual and the clan.
Dude, we can't even coordinate our siege. Like coordinating like an hour to be able to swap your whole clan. That's kind of crazy.
You bring a valid point there. Like their organization skills are the coordination skills are off the par. So I will commend them on that. I commend the whole clan on the organization that they have to be able to pull this off. It is absolutely insane. But I'll pose this question to you guys, chat. Imagine the top clans, like the top 5 clans, IPR, all of this, having an alternate clan and coming in and doing this. Eventually it trickles down, right? And who suffers at the end? It's not going to be the pay to win players that are doing it. Like if my clan was doing it, it's sure shit not going to be us. It's going to be the players that are below us that are going to be losing consecutively because we're doing this back to back to back. Not that I am. I'm just saying the clans.
Can I jump in quickly, say something?
Go ahead, Ken.
Whenever I said like you guys need to limit the tokens that you can purchase per day for the live arena, you guys was saying it's a counterattack, but they are making money from it, right? Well, if the Kraken clans are getting 1,000 clan on the matchmaking, they are not going to spend money to win their whatever.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
Kraken clan,
so they should fix this.
Another Kraken clan, so we can see the money.
We can see
money war there. So it's a Plarium win, so Plarium,
Right.
if you're watching,
That's a good. That's a great counter argument, right? Hey, you're allowing this to happen in your game. You're losing money because of it.
Right. And a lot of like I
Flip
did
that.
get I did get a lot of people telling me, it's not, don't talk about it, don't this, let it go. And I really feel like, I love discussing everything that goes on in the game, but sometimes we do have to take a look at some of these serious issues that are going on. And I don't honestly think this is healthy for the game. Zero, what do you think?
I think anybody doing this, you're right. It's part of the mechanics of the game, but I think that all they need to do is implement some sort of penalty when this crap happens. So I think maybe the clan loses a level. So I see that clan wrecked is 19. Maybe they drop down to 18, and that took them 6 months to go from 18 to 19. They lose a penalty or something like that. and or whenever they swap, the points don't count for a week or something like that. Like, if you somehow implement some sort of like control, like cheat. I won't call it cheat control because again, it's baked into the mechanics of the game. You can swap clans and stuff, and again, you don't want to penalize people for being able to swap clans, and or you wouldn't want to have like a retaliatory thing where Blazin, I'm upset with you as the clan leader, and I'm going to convince the whole clan to mutiny you and leave you and penalize you or something like that, right? So you want to, don't open up doors for abuse or anything like that. But I think there should be some sort of penalty where your points aren't counted in the next week, and or the clan loses what takes a long time to build up, right? Because now there's 30 clan levels. Is that the deal?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah. So, and I see that these are all 19, 20, 21, right?
But
but
thing, though, to get to that clan levels, to be able to reach the top rewards, it's not like we're going to do it in our lifetime. Our grandkids are going to do it for us,
right,
on our account. So, but I get what you mean. Look, guys, I also want people to look at the bigger picture, right? If it's not done here, right, once they swap over, they're getting easier opponents for Siege, right? So you guys that are in the lower end are going to be matched up against them in Siege. So you're going to face them there. You're going to face them in Hydra. You're going to face them in CVC, right? So that's the big problem right there is it's all going to trickle down to the lower end of the player base that isn't spending, that isn't playing this game as aggressive they are. So again, I understand where people are saying, and I feel like just take the L, right? Go ahead, Zero. I didn't mean to finish cutting you off.
No, I mean, I think that was basically it. I think that, a way for a player and potentially to solve this. I think Ken is spot on. They're losing money because of this, right? Yeah, and I think you need to figure out some sort of way or some sort of something to penalize this type of thing. Like if, more than 50% of a clan leaves or something like that in a given window or something like that, there should be some sort of penalty or something.
Airfern says, as soon as he gets Marius, he's quitting. Who you fooling, bro? Who you fooling, bro? You're not quitting. Come on. You want a G-Nut nerf. Copium, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Well, I think that anytime you create an abusable system, people are going to abuse it. And if you want a system that's not going to be broken, then make it unbreakable. So it's like if people can clan hop and get their rewards and have easier opponents, they're going to do it. And as far as the OC, or as far as this clan that, all hopped out, I think that's a bit extreme. I do think that they should take the L. I mean, ride together, die together. But
Agreed.
At the same time, if they want to keep getting those rewards, and obviously, people that do this in the game, which I'm not throwing shade or talking any kind of crap to them, but people that want to win will win by any means necessary. So they're not willing to sit there and be like, oh, well, I'm not going to get it this week, when they can just go and slap somebody lower down the totem pole.
Yep. Agreed. Very valid. Very valid. Let's go to Jay. What do you have to say about it, man?
This is a very I've been in the game for a long time in terms of raids, so I've seen this since way back in Clan Boss. And a lot of them became content creators and abused the system of getting tons of sacreds. I was always wondering how they got so many like Legos and dupes and stuff early on. But now, when you see with Hydra and Chimera and Siege, many clans do it. Doesn't mean it doesn't matter if you're a top clan or like a mid clan. You come across like these big people, you're like, even if you try, you're like, what's the point? Like, we're going to waste so much time and resources to even try. We're probably still not going to win. So, purposely like doing this, it's weird. It's like a raid strategy where you can just let them win and they get super boosted. And then you're able to at least have a decent chance next time. But I've seen it's not always fair, because the next time, sometimes we just obliterate the next opponent. So that is unfair, They have to figure out a matchmaking better system, because like everyone said, people are going to abuse it, man. It doesn't matter if it's Classic Arena. People used an engine for that. People are now getting drivers for Live Arena. People are always going to find an answer for all these different situations. They could put punishments, but Raid has never really done that. They always just try to get ways for you to swipe. So, how to balance that? That's something Playerm has to fix. This is not a player problem. You can't really get upset at people for this. But I definitely see the gripe of certain people like, "Hey, man, don't expose this." Like, "Hey, nothing's wrong." Like, it's like kind of like a behind the scenes. Like everyone knows everyone's gonna do it. So why throw it out there?
I got a lot of that too. The moment it went live, just like this, I got, hey, no, this is not how it works. It's misrepresented in the video. I'm like, as far as I know, this is how it works. And like, again, if I'm wrong, I put the inquiry in with Plarium. I'll get the information back. And if I'm wrong, I'll I won't take the video down, but I will apologize and I will say that, how it actually works. But as of right now, the matchmaking is currently working based on your last 4. The original ones, or the original way where Clash was supposed to start off for your first couple of fights, I believe it was based off your CVC and Hydra. But now it seems like it's just your last 4. So go ahead. Sorry, Jay.
Yeah, I think the only way, if they're not going to balance the clan hopping or just like matchmaking, what they could do is for people who are always ending up in the 4s to 5s, how like in live arenas, like you lose 3, you can get a free bot. Maybe there should do something for lower end players, mid game players, to try to fix that up. And not only just matching with other mid, but like I don't know specifically, but I'm just saying like that could be like a way to at least everyone, try to make your player base not just the spenders, but just try to make everyone happy. Because otherwise, you're just going to have an infinite loop of people coming in, hating the middle side, can't get to late game, or they get to late game and they hate it, then they quit. Then you just keep bringing in new people to keep cycle while you have all the big people at the top milking everybody in the mid to late forever. It just creates a infinite loop of like, the community gets very toxic and it's not good. So hopefully, player adjusts this.
And
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to jump in here. I think something that was just said, thank you, Jay, for saying that. But like, if players get to the point, again, this game is meant to keep their player base happy and keep them constantly grinding and playing the game and being active users. If people get to the point, what you just said is, what's the point? So if you're trying to compete in CVC and this happens to you and you're like, oh man, well, what's the point if we're not cheating too, or we're not manipulating the built-in system to do it? And I go back to like the Tarkov days. I was a huge Tarkov, streamer slash player, but in a game like that, they've already collected my money. In fact, they'll probably save money to see me go, because I'm not, being data on their servers. That's not an expense on their servers and stuff like that. A game like this, you need your player base. If you don't have your player base, you have no game. So I think, they potentially need to close the loop on this and keep all player bases happy, because if they get frustrated, or if like you said, a mid-game player comes in and gets, farmed, if you will, by people who shouldn't be farming them because they're manipulating a broken system in the game, I think they're going to get upset and potentially leave. So I think it's a bigger issue than not.
Right. And I really, I want to give a shout out to one of the guys in my clan, Cosmos, who, he kind of sits there and he takes everybody's scores and puts it in. And you guys can see here, like we just try to push to get up every week, higher and higher and higher. Here we actually lost a couple of people in the clan, so that's one of the bad things. But like overall, that and I feel like that's how it should be done. Like he goes through and he tracks our averages of what we've been doing and how we've been improving over the last couple of weeks and stuff. Like, this is what I feel, if you're going to take these kind of game modes on, this is what you should try to do. You should try to improve. Now let's take a step back to the tanking part, right? Because it is something that is put into the system. I mean, it is done very, it's not shunned from, right? Everybody knows that it does it. I will tell you, this week in Hydra, it's a tank week for us, right? I told people, get your 1.2 billion in, get out. And, slowly but surely, over the next couple of weeks, we'll climb back up until I feel that we should tank again. It is the system that has been put into the game. It is manipulation to try to get easier opponents. But your thoughts on tanking, is it right or is it wrong? And I want to ask you, how would or should Plarium fix this? Chat, this goes to you as well too. Let me know where you stand on that. That said, let's go to PJ first.
Is it right or is it wrong?
To be tanking, yes.
I mean, I don't really think it's either. Like, is it right or wrong to snipe people? Like, it's in the game. It's not like I guess morally it's not good, but I don't think we should really bring morals into this. Like,
let me ask you this: is it healthy for the game to be able to tank?
To some degree, maybe a little bit. I don't think to like the extent of like absolutely getting rid of your clan, but at some point you might want to drop down a little bit if you're just PBing, like you're gonna start facing tougher and tougher people. You might not win as easily, but I feel like it's just gotten way out of control. So I mean, if they could take it away, I don't think it'd be bad either. But yeah, I think it's gone too bad. It's just gone too far.
Okay. And you know, I guess my question is, shouldn't we all just try to do our personal best? If we're gonna be playing and going into this, that should be the thing. Like maybe there's a point threshold that if you do or if you don't do based on what your clan does, it doesn't count towards your clash. I don't know how to exactly fix this, right?
Also, another thing, maybe, sorry, is like people are tanking because like they want better rewards, right? So if they gave first or fourth and fifth maybe some rewards, it would be a little bit less reason to tank. They would still be getting stuff. Because it all comes down to rewards, right? People tank to get better rewards. They don't think they can get the rewards that they want at the moment, or at the points they can do right now. So they say, okay, we can drop points, we can beat those people to get better rewards. So looking at the rewards and trying to mess around with those could also maybe help with the tanking issue.
Okay. Zero. Yeah, Zero. What about you?
Yeah, I don't mind it so much because I think everybody kind of knows this one and does this one, and it's not as involved as like coordinating a 1 hour window to have your entire clan switch different clans and stuff. Like I think that's really broken. The funny part to me is what happens if you you're matched up with other clans that are also trying to tank, and it's actually kind of funny. We've been winning the non-personal reward ones when we're supposed to be tanking, but we get our like 5.4 million and we try to stop, and we're getting matched up with people that are just like, we're not even going for that, and we end up winning those, and then we get matched up in our personal ones and we're getting smoked. So I don't know how you can address potentially this, right? I don't know. I just think it's funny that when you try to tank and still win, it's kind of weird.
Ken, what about you?
I mean, PJ actually got a fair point there. Like, people are tanking because of try to get a better reward, and if they give us a chance to get reward on the 4th or the 5th position, last position, that can be maybe a little bit less painful, and that can be prevent the tanking. Personal reward actually help. They recently had a personal reward, and it's actually good. But obviously, number one reward, which is number one reward on the Hydra, only like mythical book is the unique one, which is there is like 0.000000001% chance, I believe, it's the drop rate, because
I'll tell
that's
you
my
on
experience.
the weeks that I tank, on the weeks that I win, they come up a lot more often than not.
Really? Well, I'm
Yeah.
very unlucky, I guess. Okay.
You're just not paid to win enough.
Okay. Yeah, man, like, if we are gonna make reward behind the competitive, you also need fair matchmaking system for that. Like,
I mean,
because if you keep winning, like if you are not tanking, if you are keep winning, you are going to face the clan against you. You have no chance against them because they are tanking. That's how is the system working.
right.
Like, have you ever seen how to say that? point, there is a clan with the 70 billion. Next one 69. Next one 68. Next one 65. No, man, there is always big gap between them.
Right. Right. Sorry, Gestal.
Yeah, tanking. I mean, I guess I'm not really. We've never done it as a clan. We're not super into all of the really pushing super hard on any of that stuff. We're a little bit more casual. But if a clan wants to coordinate the tank, I guess I'm not necessarily against it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not against it. I don't.
Here's what I will say about the tanking. It's like, listen, I'm gonna take the loss, so another clan that, you know, may not or has pushed up too high, is going to be able to at least get something out of that win, right? I guess that's the kind of way I justify it to myself, to say I'm okay with doing it, even though I don't think it should be done, right? Go ahead, Gessel. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean that's basically all I had to say. Like, it's part of game. I feel like, like even in sports, as PJ was saying earlier, like teams that haven't been performing well will tank to try to get a better draft pick. Like, it's not, it happens all over the place. So I don't really feel like, it's the end of the world. If you want to try to help your clan out and move down a couple slots to get a little bit easier matchups, I don't think that's a horrible thing, because like you just said, like it's gonna help out other clans who may not have won. Then they get a win, or they come in second or third and get some extra stuff. So I don't really think it's that bad. I think it's way better than like having two clans and kind of bouncing back and forth between them. I think this is way better.
Right. Okay. Actually, Sus brings out a great point here. And chat, have you ever played a game that the matchmaking has been really good, and what has been good about it? Maybe we can float some of those ideas around back to Plarium. Copium, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, first, to answer Sauce's question, I used to play Pokemon Stadium in middle school, and I'd have the kids over, and that was great matchmaking. But to touch on this, I think that clan hopping is the real issue. I think that tanking, I mean, if you're in the same clan and you all agree, let's take the L, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that you want an easier opponent, you should be able to get that. Like, if you push to a certain point where you're always losing, then you're going to take your foot off the gas. And the point of this game is to always get better, is to always push harder. So if you need to take your foot off the gas in order to get that win, to get that stronger gear, to turn around and come back stronger, I think that that's an acceptable practice. But to go back to the hopping from one to another, I think that that's a little bit extreme. And I think that that opens the door for just straight up abuse of a system.
Okay. Jay, what are your thoughts?
In terms of tanking, in general, I think it's not bad. There's a lot worse things like hopping, sniping. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, if CVC, right? We're competing, trying to, right? You're like, oh, but then like by the first day, you're like, we're not gonna even reach. This is impossible. They're already like 2 million ahead. You're like, and then you got like two people doing like 0 or 10,000. You're like, dang, we're not gonna catch now unless we all swipe, right? So that's a good time. You're like, all right, we should just lose, like stop here, because we don't want to sit here and play 10 hours to try to catch up, and they could just swipe to counter it, right? I think sniping is worse, because one time I remember we were actually trying and we weren't spending money. We were just playing the game and we were doing good. We were actually above like a million plus. And then the last 2 hours, when everyone's asleep, we wake up and lose. And it's like, bro, what? So it just sucks because you wasted all that time. Like, if we would have known, we would have just tanked, right? We'd have just been like, look, you can have it. People use it as a bad term, but it's like, bro, you can take this, let me take the next. It's kind of like that. Like, when it comes to Chimera and Hydra, I mean, we were talking about it earlier, the situations, right, of people like clan hopping or trying to abuse the system. So tanking is kind of like a kind of a not a free system, like, but it's in the game to help people be like, look, we're not gonna go crazy. We're just gonna reduce ourselves so at least we have a chance next time because we have no chance. Or if we do have a chance, we'd all have to invest into our raid account, and then you can still get sniped. In Siege, I think people are doing it mainly because we all want Lamaso, we all want the new champions, Empress, right? Mythicals. Most people just want to get these champs. I honestly think once the people get the champs, you'll see a lot less probably trying to take it serious because we're all just trying to get it. But yeah, in Siege, that's one I think is the worst. Because tanking, you can't do nothing about it. They will literally throw like into your your defenses. It's just throw like one man, so you're like, I'm winning fights I shouldn't be winning. That's where I notice tanking is a little bit of really abused, and player needs to address it because that's just crazy. You put them, it's supposed to be a serious system where we're trying to beat someone's defense, kind of like, when we were fighting in Live Arena. It's supposed to be more challenging. We wanted something like this in a long time in Raid, right? Siege and battles and stuff, and then boom, it comes out. It's kind of like Hydra. We're just, or let's just tank. Let's just throw one mans into someone's team. We can actually win this one, and we're way higher than that person. Let's obliterate them and take all the chests, and they get none. So, there I'm noticing it's a little bit abusive, because it's been, even our clan's been doing it. So, but in general, tanking is supposed to be like this thing to help people out. I'm not saying I'm up for it. Players should find better means to their game, but it's something in the game. And if clearly they haven't said anything about it, right? Because they were thrown in a digest within the first week if it was something super serious. So we'll see what they do in the future. But sniping, they need to fix that.
I know that it's been discussed, and there hasn't been a big push to it. I want to say I think I'm probably, and I can see why people didn't put this in the limelight and make videos about it, because I'm not gonna lie, I did get a lot of lashback from DMs and whatnot, but I'm also not the type of person that gives a shit, right? I want what's fair for the game. I want what's right for the game, because again, what happens at the top, it will trickle down. They're not going to farm out players that are at the top. They're going to farm out the lower end because that's what they want, right? So when the clan hopping situation happens, that's what goes on. That said, how do we go about fixing this, right? How do we go about putting in a suggestion to Plarium and saying, hey, listen, this can't be changed? Because again, when this is done, when the clan hopping situation is done, it affects you both in Hydra, Chimera, Siege, CVC. So again, we're getting opponents that are weaker based on the clan, right? Because they put it in based on the last 4 rankings of where the clan has been. So how do we do this? How do we fix it? My suggestion is, you know what? Let's go ahead and keep it the way that they have done basically with CVC, where it's dependent on the individual's points, the individual's average. It still allows players to tank, but the clan hopping situation doesn't go to an extreme. Basically, take the damn L, right? Take the damn L. Ken, what are your thoughts? How would you support some sort of change on this, or to fix this?
First of all, I'm not. It's not my problem. It's their problem. Why would I worry to fix their problem if they are not paying me money, right? So they are not paying me money. So why? I mean, bro, I tried, man. I really tried. Like, even like I don't want to talk about her again, but you guys know, I think, which champion I'm talking. Even the Hydra class started. Actually, like, more than me, there was some content creator try to warn the Plarium about it. People going to abuse this champion. Are you planning to do something? Yeah, they did something.
Go ahead.
They
Say
start
Hydra. Say her name.
They start Hydra Clash with her Tenix. This is their solution. Like, can't you see how many times they release 15x Senna after the Chimera release it? How many times we see 15x Senna before the Chimera release it? Right? They know this champion extremely strong there. They aware of that. Look at the last previous 15x we got. Odin, Armas, Fabian.
Yeah.
They are loud on us, man. I'm telling you. They give us ship profile picture.
You know, I feel like the whole Trunda situation is.
I didn't give the name.
I know, and you've been catching some flack for it too. Like I get. Listen, the whole Trunda situation, and I can't blame it on Saf or anybody else. Plarium is going to do what they want to do, and when everybody says, you know, they listen to you, content creators out there, guys, they don't, because we all sit here, and 4 of us in this chat will sit here and tell you, we can sit here till we're blue in the damn face. I've been on a weekly basis complaining about getting the quest, right? The daily advanced quest that says use a chimera key or hydra key for the last 2 months, every week. Okay? It's a simple fix. It's a simple fix. Just put it in the damn weekly quest. And they haven't done it. Right? Now, at the same time, go ahead.
So I'm at the point, like, why would I bother, man? Like,
yeah.
Like, why would I bother? They are not listening to me. Like, why would I bother, you know? How can they do that? I don't know too much, to be honest. Maybe clan ranking system also can be part of the matchmaking. Obviously, you can say that, hey, man, so there is a players, like, they just love the game because they are playing the game like a Pokemon collector, right? They were like massive PP, but they are not competitive, you know? Yes, I agree with you. Again, that was just one idea. I'm not saying like just do that, but I don't know, man. Like, I personally don't know how can they make it more balanced. I don't know.
I like
to hear you guys opening.
I like your idea of the clan ranking taking into an account. I think that, you know, granted, a lot of it can be inflated and deflated based on resistance and crit damage and stuff like that.
Or
so
maybe
I'm sure people
Trophies. But Trophies also cannot be worked, right? Yeah, I mean,
it's possible, but I think like there's definitely a good way to have. Back to just real quick, I do want to say that there are some times that they do listen to us, because I was one of the first proponents that said during Curse City, that we need to get scrolls for free gear removal, and that was one of the things they did put in. So I can say that they do listen sometimes on things that make sense, but not all the time. They will do what they want to do. Moving on to Gestal, what kind of suggestion do you have for them to fix this this kind of an issue?
What's issue? Sorry.
The whole clan hopping and manipulation of tanking kind of stuff. Like, what would you think?
Clan is deleted.
Yeah. I don't. God. It's a tough one. I think they would have to like monitor the entire clan to see if they're like, if all of them are moving at once, right? Like, because if a couple people move, you don't want to just cause them to miss like a week of Chimera or 2 weeks. Like, yeah, there would have to be some sort of check to see if it's like all from one clan, I guess. And then you know, and then add some sort of penalty, like, you know, you were part of this clan that moved over to this other clan, you know, your Chimera is locked for a week or something like that. I would feel like that might be a way to handle it. Other than that, it'd be pretty tough. Because you have to allow people to move clans, right? Like, you have to be able to freely move clans and not get penalized. But your whole clan shouldn't be allowed to do it.
There's a certain point where, you know, I have heard of some players that will specifically target certain clans and go in and out because they know that they will be able to get a win every week.
I think people
or whatever.
But you're gonna, like, a community learns like who those people are, right? After a while.
Yeah,
I don't know. And, like, you see that name pop back up, like, yeah, buddy, I'm not gonna let you back in here, you know, something like that.
So,
yeah, but you see, it's a very simple fix of just going in here and buying a name scroll, right? I just change my name.
I suppose.
And, you know.
I suppose, yeah.
Copium,
I
did
don't
you
know.
have
I
something?
don't get all devious with this stuff. I guess, man. I always I'm
Some
trying to stay
people
positive.
do, bro, and it's
Ah, you're
listen,
right. You're right. It's stuff I just don't think about. I guess.
it's the 1% of the player base that abuse the system that screw it up for the rest of us. Copium, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, so I mean, I think Sauce and Chat brings up an interesting thing, which is if you move clans back to back weeks, no rewards for a month. I mean, that puts it on the player for personal responsibility. But also, I think another thing that would be nice to implement, I don't know how they do it, but it would be nice if if you leave the clan, you cannot rejoin the clan for a certain amount of time. And then it also prevents from, if a clan is created, it has to be created for this amount of time before it's eligible for rewards, so that people aren't just making a bunch of backup clans and then hopping clan to clan to clan to clan and leaving all dead clans in their wake. I think that it would be a decent system to implement, but again, I mean, we know Plarium, right? And Plarium's going to do what Plarium's going to do to get that credit card out. And that's not making them any money to do that.
Right.
It's actually going to cost them money to do that. So it's the same reason why I like to go back to what we've been talking about. It seems like is all the people at the top, they're there for a reason. And the people that are getting shit on are basically either not putting in the same effort because they don't care, or they're not putting in the same amount of money because they can't or won't.
And I do want to tell everybody that we're in a new regime now, right? We have MTG that has purchased Plarium, and so it's no longer aristocrats. So
I can't wait to see what they do. I really hope it gets better.
It's definitely, one of those things that we all got to keep an eye on and think of. Zero, what about yourself? What do you have for thoughts?
Yeah, I think Copium was saying a couple of things I like about not being able to participate and get rewards for a penalty time, but then he said that would cost them money. So then my mind immediately went to maybe if you want to swap clans, you have to pay 2,000 gems. Maybe you get one free transfer. Maybe you get one free transfer. Hold on, you get one free transfer every 6 months or something like that. So you can, a couple times a year change clans. And if you want to change clans and abuse the system like this, you got to pony up. That way it's a win-win. Plarium still makes money, and maybe it has an opportunity to cut down on some of this if people aren't willing to run that credit card.
That's actually interesting.
I'm looking at chat, and chat's like, whoa, hold up, 2,000.
Yeah, put the money where the mouth is. If you want to abuse the system, right, and you want to move an entire clan to a new clan, well, all of you got to, throw out, $10-20 to do so, and then put your money where your mouth is. Maybe, swapping out for that one little extra shard or something you're going to get out isn't worth it as much, right? But you know what? If people are going to min max and do it just like the person at the top of the leaderboard, Crypto and Live Arena, they're ponying up, thousands of dollars, not $1,000, but thousands of gems to run that many fights. Then yeah, the players making money off that, right? So why would they fix something?
I would say, look, I don't think one every 6 months. I think one a month, because there are some people that come in, learn how to play, and over the evolution, they go through.
Hey, okay. If you're new to the game, let's say if you're not a level 100 account, you can swap without a penalty. Find the right clan, unlimited swapping. But as soon as you hit 100 player power, you're locked in. If you want to change, you get one every 6 months, and if you want to change out, it's going to cost you gems to move. I think that's fair. Okay. So you're right. Let's not penalize our beginner players or our free to play players or something like that. But yeah, once you hit 100, you're locked.
Okay, fair point.
That's.
Go ahead,
can I jump on that one more time?
Yeah, jump.
I actually think that's super interesting, because another game that I play, that I used to play, World of Warcraft, right? They offered up guild server transfers. Yep. And the guild itself could transfer to a new server because they wanted to be more competitive. They wanted to, be server first or whatever. And the server they were on was just too saturated. So they made the guild leader transfer, but if anybody wanted to follow, they needed to pay up too. I think once a month would be decent because I mean, you buy the monthly gem pack, or you can make 1,000 gems. At least decent, $10 worth of gems. Like, I think that's interesting.
Yeah, and Freak just brought up a fantastic point. Kind of like the live arena tokens. Maybe you do the tiered system. Where the first time it's 200 gems, the next time it's 400, next time it's 800, next time 1600, and the next time 2400 or something like that. That way, if you are trying to transfer and like maybe the clan you go to on your free transfer, they don't work out and now you get penalized, but maybe it's only 200 the first time you do it and then tiers up. But that would ramp up very rapidly and keep the people that are abusing the system. Well, they'd have to pay to abuse the system, I guess, in that case.
Right. And I guess at that point, Plarium's still making money, servers are still going live, and I don't know. I still feel like there's something else, but PJ, you're the voice of reason.
Yeah. I mean, we have to there's a difference between, I think, tanking and then clan swapping, or tanking and clan swapping. I wouldn't mind them just doing kind of like what they did with Hydra. If you clan swap, you miss the next week of rewards, or you can still do the run, but you just don't get like the clan rewards. I think that'd be good. I also think, again, it's like the base of the problem is why are people are like tanking and clan hopping is to get the rewards. So if they could, again, try to work on some of the it's tough because I feel like sometimes they need to make the better reward or the higher tier rewards better, because they're very similar to like Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare and Brutal, or could be all very similar. Let's say for Hydra, like the Soul Stones you're getting is like 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. So if they make the rewards a little bit better on the higher end, it could also kind of lead to more tanking, but maybe make that rewards better, but also on the lower end make them a little bit better. So it's like kind of incentivizes them to not tank as much. But I think also there's going to be a big issue in clan and CVC now, because I think it's going to be the way they have it is going to be even more incentivized to tank, because now it's not just you don't want to win CVC PRs, it's you want a 3-0 or 4-0 to get the gold relic materials. So it's like you have to tank even harder to make sure you're getting a 3-0 or a 4-0 versus just like you just wanted to win before. So I think they kind of, it might be even like a big issue now in clan or in CVC.
And
as well.
I'll tell you, like the last CVC we had, the PR CVC, we 3-0'd. The non-PR CVC we had, our opponents only pushed, I want to say like 3 million. So once we hit 5.4, I think we went 5.4, 5.6. I told the guys, cap, stop, don't put any more points up. And again, it was just because our opponents didn't put anything up. So we 3-0'd that one. So then why make it more difficult for ourselves on the next one? But you're right. It makes it puts more emphasis into tanking, right? So I guess the question is going to be, is Plarium pushing us towards that direction? Sorry, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, no, so it's an issue. I think one way for CVC, I'm not sure what you guys think. I mean, I brought this up before, but I think they should just get rid of the non-PRs and just make every CVC a PR reward. I think that would make people tank less.
That's a good point. Why do they not? Why do they even do a non-PR?
I don't think that it would not make people tank, because obviously I would say push this week, save resources, push the week after, and at least be at like a 50-50 win rate, which I guess could justify, could be good, could be bad, right?
That's what people are doing already now, kind of. But now you don't have to tank. It's like you don't have to be like, oh, it's a non-PR, we have to tank. It's a PR, you have to tank. It's a PR, everyone. So it's like you could go two in a row, you go hard, and then you go tank, and then you go 3 wins in a row hard. So I don't know. I feel like we're in this rotation or this pattern now of tank, not tank, tank, not tank. So if everyone's a PR, it's kind of more of an even playing field. So you kind of, I don't know, don't have to be as restrictive, I feel like.
Now, Plarium's not going to give us that many resources.
Yeah.
So the question that I have about PR is, how come I bust my ass to get my PR points up in the CVC, and then we lose, and I still get those bullshit rewards from normal CVC? Should I not get my PR rewards for doing my personal best? and then not get the CVC rewards for not winning.
That is a very, very good point. And I think there's a lot of people that have had said that, and we will definitely have a discussion on that, on pushing, the rework on some of these for the PRs and the non-PRs. Like, I honestly think you bring a valid point. I think putting that kind of gameplay, or not gameplay, that kind of mechanics on almost everything in here, on my personal, what I'm doing best, as opposed to the clan, I think the better reward should be done on my personal as opposed to the whole clan in general, right? I think the whole clan in general, yes, we should get some good things, but the better reward should be done per the individual. So I like where you're going with that. Jay, what about you, sir?
Me personally, a lot of things were said that I was gonna say, like about using gems, but I think I'd be a lot stricter, because players who have multiple accounts, and I think eventually,
like
that's a special case. Most people have like 2 or 3. Even other games, like I have 2 or 3 in other games as well. But like a free to play in a main. But I think once we start I think it needs to be more strict when it comes to this whole adding a gem to the thing, like rank system, right? Like, starting off, it should be free. Definitely the first time. I think it should be definitely free when you first make an account, and then when you hit 100, it should be free. After that, it needs to spike hard. Otherwise, the player will be like, oh, all right, cool. So we added this person to the member. They're a spender. All right, so you from 1 through 5, can you afford this amount of gems? Cool. We're all gonna go start hopping because it's only this amount. If you put it at a higher threshold, people are not gonna want to do it. People are still gonna abuse it, right? It's just not gonna be long-term abusement. Which might sound like a fix it, but trust me, people are gonna just have other accounts and they're gonna do it as well. So I think it'd be better if, I know this might sound extreme, but like some people say, Sauce, or other people, Rizoria was saying in the chat, who doesn't have 2,000 gems? Right? Like, especially content creators too, right? So they get free gems. So I think it needs to be.
Don't bring us into the mix just because we get the free gems.
Well,
come on.
Can I just chime in on what he just said? Yeah. I think he's 100% right. On the gym thing, I like what Freak said, right? The ramping up, but then maybe once you get to the top, how you get like the Sacred Shard out of Gold Tag Team Arena, and it's got like a month cooldown before you can unlock it again. So maybe it ramps up to the maximum, and then it goes, well, hey, you can't change clans until like a 1 month cooldown or 2 month cooldown or something like. Just implement that code that's already there and just put it on the purchase of the clan hop or something.
One thing I think we should be careful about, though, is like early on, you can progress your account super fast. Like, you can go join a clan and then 3 weeks later improve and bypass it. So
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, as soon as you hit 100, like I think the people that are locked in and abusing this are all level 100 accounts, right?
But that's the thing. I don't think so. I mean, you could abuse this at any level.
Okay, 50. As soon as you hit 50.
But the thing, I don't think level in this game matters. I don't think,
yeah.
But I don't think it should be based off a level. I don't think that matters in this game. You could be a spender and be low level, or you could be a free to play. Like, I
just meant the level at least gives you a grace period where if you're new to the game, you're not going to get penalized by this at all. Is I think the mechanic I'm thinking of. But you're right. I mean, there are probably people out there that will probably abuse it at higher ends or whatever. But can't fix all the world's problems, right?
True. Jay, did you have anything else you wanted to finish off with?
Yeah, so like for example, I've been playing almost 6 years, and I've been in 2 clans in my whole experience. Never needed to clan hop, and I didn't see a point, of course, because I'm not going to abuse that. But I honestly think since people are willing to spend the gems, like we were saying earlier, and they want to make money, and the only way to play them is going to actually listen to us, right? Would just to inflate it really high, like everyone in chat, right, or even everyone hearing me, like, how many clans have you been in since your start of raid, and how many have you wanted to hop, right? So it's not going to affect us. It's going to only affect the people who are abusing it. So to limit those people, or to lower it down, you spike it up high, like starting off like 100, 500. No, punish. It needs to be strong. It needs to be like 2K, 5K, 10K, right? Like it needs to be that type of level, because then you have to start thinking, what's more important? Am I going to use my gems for energy and live arena, or am I willing to do this and actually spend it for the hopping? You're going to take lots of resources out of them and punish them in a sense, and at the same time, player wins because gems packs go up and people buy it. So that's what I would do.
Also, I do want to emphasize the fact that, you know, a lot of the ideas that we're putting out here, it's not that we want for Plarium to win to make money. Yes, of course, they have to keep the game going, so players like Ken and, you know, everybody else that is free to play. But, you know, obviously they're not going to do something if it doesn't affect their pocket in a positive way.
And I think can I just tap on that? So just, I think big picture in terms of the health of the game, right? Because if people get pissed off because people abuse mechanics, they're going to leave the game. That's the point I was trying to make earlier. Like, I left playing Tarkov because it's so punishing to take a loss. And if people are just going to use cheats to cheat you and steal all your good gear, then what's the point of playing the game? And same thing with this. If you want to try to be competitive, you're not trying to be a system abuser, and you're going up against clans that are system abusers, you might get to the point as a player base to say, what's the point of playing the game? So what we're saying is, yeah, put money in players' pockets so they're incentivized to fix it, but also fixing a broken mechanic that they've allowed into the game, right? And kind of take that away from people that are abusing it, so it's good for the entire player base. I think that's just tapping on what you were saying. It was like, we want this for the good of the health for the entire community, so that everybody is happy and people aren't getting pissed off if they're feel like they're getting abused.
Right. All right. So we all have our interesting thoughts and I guess our morals on should this stuff be done, should it not. Like I said, I will commend the clan, and the organization that they have is phenomenal to be able to pull that off. So hats off to them. Is it something that I support? Absolutely not. But that's just my moral view. That's just the way I see it, right? Again, I do tank. I call for tank weeks. It is a system that is put into the game. Is it right? I don't think that it should be done. Unfortunately, I'm not the whole clan. So, you know, I will tell you guys on my alt accounts, I get the keys in, whatever damage they do, whether I win that siege or that clash or whatever, it doesn't matter, right? On my main account, I do like to try to progress as much as possible. And I, you know, again, sometimes I just get outvoted. That said, Ken, where can people come and find you, bro?
FinalKenpachi, both YouTube guys and the Twitch. You guys can find me on the Clan Boss Reset every single day. We are going live. And yeah, thank you.
Awesome. PJ, where can people come and find you?
MXPJE on Twitch and YouTube. We stream pretty much every single weekday, 2 times a day, as much as possible.
Awesome. Zero, where can people come and find you?
Zero Brew at Twitch every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday night. Almost said the wrong day. Sunday, Tuesday, Friday on 8 p.m. Central Time. Also on the YouTubes is we are 56 subscribers away. Subscribing is free on YouTube, everyone. We are 56 subscribers away from the magical 1,000. We're going to do something fun when we get that mark. But help me get there. I really appreciate it.
Let's go. Gestal, what about yourself? Where can people come find you?
Yeah, Gestal Gaming on Twitch and on the YouTubes.
Awesome. Mr. Copium King, where can people come and find you?
I stream live on Twitch, King_Copium. I've been doing the weeknight thing, but weekends are primarily my jam. So Friday night all the way through Sunday night.
Awesome. Jay, where can people come and find you, bro?
Jer Star on both Twitch.tv and YouTube.
Awesome. Hey, Ken, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
I got you L2 Gaming. L2 Gaming recently started streaming. He's really pushing hard, guys. He's trying his best to the stream. He's streaming Raid Shadow Legends. So I leave in his link to over there. So make sure to check him out.
Awesome. Zero Brew, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
Well, we've already given out Copium, and now he's on the show. So welcome, Copium. I'm glad you're here, buddy. Let's go with Pogo Pink Tie. He's always just a fantastic fun time, and he's just kind of like one of those anchors in the community, right? He does things a little bit differently, and he's opened up my mind to certain things in terms of the way he thinks and how he runs his accounts and stuff. So I always love his different perspective on Raid Shadow Legends. So Pogo Pink Tie, there's the link. Y'all click it, give him some love.
Man, I thought he was trolling me when he brought that Geomancer into Live Arena. I was like, what the hell?
Huh?
And he was actually
he does it.
legitimately doing it, man. PJ, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
All right, we're giving Mr. Tham a shout out. He's been on the podcast before. He's an OG in the raid streamer community. He's been around for a long time, took a break. He's been back, been gone, been back again. So check him out, don't follow. Always funny. Got some good perspectives over there.
Awesome. Gestal, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
Well, PJ just took mine, so let's shout out.
Everybody's looking on Twitch. Who's got the shout out?
You're like, scrolling.
This is becoming a weekly thing.
Let's shout out my man Jacobo. He's been doing a ton of Live Arena for a long time. I've run into him a bunch. He's over there, a European streamer, really, really good. He's been around forever, huge numbers. If you have not checked them out, though, go over there, check them out. Jacobo, JC0B0.
Awesome. Copium, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
Oh man, I gotta give a shout out to the guy who actually introduced me to the whole raid community. The Cursed One streams on Twitch. He's a super awesome guy with a really nice vibe, and he streams primarily weekends as well, also in the evenings. So there is his link in the chat. Make sure to give him a follow. He's really awesome.
Awesome. Jay, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
I got 2 shout outs. John B, a returning player to Raid who quit Raid for 2 years and with my help was like, hey man, I want to come back. I need a doctor's help. And now I'm helping him out. And Flaw the Brawler, who as well took a leave and came back and put their, trust into me. And now I'm being like a doctor, helping out their accounts and bringing them to the end game.
Let's go. My shout out's going to go to Carnage. A couple of weeks ago, I found out he lost his sister, Melissa. Rest in peace. He's not going to be streaming for a while. So I just want to say thoughts and prayers. We're going to keep you. It's tough losing a loved one. I don't know how he's doing right now. I know that it's not an easy place to be in. He has stepped up and he took care of his nieces and nephews. So huge shout out to him for that. And with that in mind and said, we hope to see him back to streaming soon. That said, Twitch, we are going to raid actually Mr. Tham over on that side. Guys, if you have something that you want us to discuss on the podcast, in the description below, there will be the Discord channel. Hop in. There's a segment in there where you guys could drop in and let us know what you want us to talk about. I have taken some of the feedback from there and are planning to have a discussion on it. So make sure you do that if you have something. Again, hopefully we will have some changes to the matchmaking, which will make it a little bit more fair. And I'm interested to hear what you guys all have to say in the chats. That's it, guys. As always, thank you very much for hanging out with us for the lovely 2 hours. Thank you for spending that time. Much love, much appreciation. Be safe.